Hello and welcome to another video. So someone requested I do Puppet Portal, so I went back to found an old deck list, went ahead and done a small modification, just adding wind-ups instead of using Belinus. Belinus? No, Belinus the Shining. I forget what his name was. Nicholas maybe? Yeah, Nicholas, the ward summoner guy. Anyway, since his nerf he's not that great, and I just wanted to keep this deck pretty straightforward for what it used to be, but I also wanted something a bit newer, so wind up it was, and it gives you just those extra few puppets that can come in handy for either Puppet Girl or Noah pretty easily. So we're going to get right into this and check it out. So the first match is against Dragon. This deck I would not recommend to anyone at the moment, as it's definitely not very solid. This video is just going to be a little bit of fun, as we haven't really covered just the straight up puppet deck since probably Brigade of the Sky. Like whole Omen expansion, after the nerfs, puppets kind of went into the ground, and only really Omen's puppets kind of popped up, and that's really all that's been popular. So a straight up puppet deck that relies more on Sylvia isn't quite as popular anymore. But why not give it a full on go and show it off for you guys anyway. So of course the early Hamlin is always a good option. I did decide to duplicate the automation, even though I probably should have duplicated the Flower Doll thinking back on it, as I could have went automation Flower Doll as my turn 3 and 4 plays, leading into of course then Heartless Battle, and then of course Outworlder would have been much better. And of course this Dragon player is going super wide. Unfortunately Portal at the moment just isn't that good. It's a little disappointing. Hopefully the next expansion that's coming up soon will bring some more life to Portal. So this worked out okay. We're going to get some okay puppets out of this, I guess. Not as good as probably Flower Doll would have been, but we'll take it regardless. So we do need to wipe this board out as effectively as we kind of can. Did decide to go with Little Puppeteer, giving us some more puppet generation. We already have Vengeful Puppet Noah. The nerf to that really did hurt this deck quite a bit, but you would still want to run it in a straight up puppet deck because it is just that little bit of extra reach that you could need. It can take out half your opponent's health if you have a decent puppet setup, so definitely something to keep an eye on if you do decide to play this deck, even though, like I said, I don't really recommend it. So now we pretty much need to take this whole board out. We don't really have a choice, and Victoria is definitely going to be the way we start this off. And we're probably just going to puppet these out at this point. So I could have went with the Evo puppet, decided against it and left it up. Not really a huge deal. The Bane is a little bit of a problem, but it's something we can kill off with another Heartless Battle. Although that 7/6 now has to be hit with the Loco, so it's definitely the way to go about things. At least the Dragoncraft player has a very limited hand. Not many cards left for them to utilize. And we're pretty well set now. All we need to do is let these puppets kind of roll in and deal with what they summon. Belinus is going to take care of this pretty easily, so that's always going to be good. I mean, we are going to have to waste these few puppets, as we do need to kill the Poseidon, but we're going to be able to use the Outworld Invader to kill this out pretty easily. It's just costing us a little bit more than I'd like it to, but to clear an entire dragon board, definitely worthwhile. I think following up from this video, we're actually going to be covering the World Grand Prix decks like immediately, so I'm going to be covering them literally tomorrow's video and probably the next few videos leading up to the expansion, as we don't really have many videos left at this point before the next expansion. Been working on these not long after the World Grand Prix now, some of these videos, so this is a little bit of a backlog to get through, as there's not much new stuff to cover outside of course, the card reveal videos, if you guys have been watching those, or of course, the card pack opening that'll be coming up, I think, not long after this video. Maybe a couple days. So we did wipe this out fairly well, and they're not doing a bad job either. It's definitely costing them. So they're now out of cards in hand. We aren't on a good health total. I mean, very dangerous health total, but one I'm willing to take. So we've got plenty of puppets, which means we can actually use Puppet Girl next turn. As long as they don't eyes in the very next turn, then we should be fine. Poseidon could also be really bad, but honestly I'd rather they Poseidon over Irons. That's really preferable at the moment. So wind up looking good. I was tempted to go for Vengeful, but I did decide to take the healing because that will stop it from killing me outright. That's definitely the way to go. Dragon, I always find healing to be a little bit more beneficial when you play puppets, as you can see here, definitely the right move. It gives us both the ward and of course the heal, so keeps us doubly out of range. And this Loco is going to do a wonderful job supporting our second Puppet Girl, which does lead to their concede, so definitely a nice setup and worked wonders for us there. But if you guys want to know exactly how bad this deck is performing in the current rotation meta, then I gotta say, I've played 10 games with this to try and make this video so far, and of those 10 games, only 3 games were actually wins, one of which was a concede on turn 3 because I Sylvia'd into a gun. So definitely not doing the best with this deck, and would not recommend it for trying to ladder at all. There are just way better options and probably cheaper options if you are newer to the game. But if you're after something for a little bit of fun and you miss playing old style puppets, I still probably wouldn't recommend this. I'd probably recommend you play Omen and run that engine instead. So it looks like this guy is playing the Omen engine. It's pretty obvious once they start the game like this. We're kind of just going to go with whatever we can at this stage, as our hand isn't really helping us at all. So it's going to be mainly ping damage for a little bit. But the Omen deck and this deck run a very similar basic engine, and basically just substitute a few cards here and there to make the difference. But overall they are reasonably similar. So they got quite a nice board out of this. Heartless Battle looks to be our only option. At least we can take 2 of the 3 cards here. And we did get the Hamlin, that may come in handy in the future. So as I said, taking out 2 of the 3 isn't bad, and probably having to force the 3-2 here to kill the 3-1. Or Omen of Destruction, that's another way to do things. Definitely one of my favourite cards for Portal Omen of Destruction. It's a lot of fun to play. But we're going to wipe this out pretty easily. Since it is Banish as well, it's not going to proc the Omen. So it means their amulet now doesn't get dropped. And of course, I go with the Green Gunsmith, misplaying slightly because I should have played the Hamlin play first and duplicated it, as we would have got a lot more value out of it then. But considering we're going into turn 8 anyway, we're probably going to go straight into Puppet Girl, so it won't make a massive difference, just a minor one in the grand scheme of things. And we are getting about 2 damage per turn off this little puppet here, so the bear's just doing its job. So now we're looking at an Ardent Sniper set up next turn at full cost to go for the ambush, as it's going to be the best way to do this. It looks like they're going all in on puppets this turn. It's a good way to do it, duplicate a puppet. So they are going to take this out pretty easily. Probably going to leave up the 1-3 though, as they should be pretty much out of puppets now. So going with the Hamlin play this time, because I can duplicate that now. I do end up making another small misplay here. I had actually originally dragged to attack that. Unfortunately that didn't register, and I'd hit end turn immediately after clicking on the 1-3 to attack, and of course, because I'm playing Puppet Portal, it automatically gives you the "Do you want to end your turn?" quote, which I automatically click yes on because I have puppets in hand, so they're playable every turn anyway. So it triggers that message. So I did miss out on 2 damage that I'm a little disappointed about. as that could have made one hell of a difference overall, and I can't go for Vengeful Papa Noah this turn, so that's a little disappointing. Fortunately for us, we are going to be pretty much in the green as far as damage goes, getting the 6-5 to go face. They are only going to negate 5 of that damage, so, I mean, it's not the best situation, but it's also not the worst. And we are going to get 1 more damage, like literally off that Kukuru. Even if they do clear this, and Destruction in black, since it doesn't activate until the start of their turn, our next turn with Vengeful Puppeteer and, of course, 5 puppets pretty much guarantees this lethal at this point. We do really want to suicide this bear first, of course, because bear's not a great way to do things with a lower attack power, but we're going to get more than enough damage to round this out and win us the game. Taking us all the way up to 12 damage for our max. And 13 for the turn, so quite nice. So again, I would not recommend this deck if you're looking for something to play competitively or play in any kind of lettering capacity. If you are just looking to play puppets again, I'd probably still just recommend Omen because that's a much better deck as far as it goes. But this was requested of me, I had the cards to do it, and I haven't covered this deck in quite a long time, so I thought, why not show it off for you guys and give it the love it deserves with a couple of nice matches. And I hope you guys did appreciate that. So you can hit the like button and subscribe for more content. You'll find the deck list in the description below if you're interested. Until next time, see ya.